What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. All right, I have a quick break because I have to leave in give or take 40 minutes. So, hopefully, in under 40 minutes, I will be able to get this recap done. I would try to save it, but I've been trying to save it not all week. They just aired the episode on Wednesday. So, Wednesday night I was gonna do it, then Thursday night I was gonna do it, and then if I try to save it to Friday night, it's just not gonna happen. So I'm just gonna do it right now. Hi, Marshall. So let us on the right episode. Okay. Okay. So let's start from the beginning of my notes here. So at the start of the episode, it shows the little recap of what happened in the last episode. In the last episode, Kylan and Tori had just won. Um, they showed different conversations happening in the house. One of the conversations that was happening was Tori and Josh talking about how they lost half of the Vacation Alliance because both Devin and Casey are gone. So now the only two people left from the Vacation Alliance are Josh and Tori. And Josh and Tori, even though they are friends, we've seen how they operate on every season. It's like they know they're going to be friends, but they're also going to fight and argue, and they're also each going to have side people that are not connected with each other, and they're both going to keep their options open. They're both kind of messy players, to be honest with you, and they're aligned in some senses, but I think it's just more like you and I will not directly take shots at each other. I think that's kind of the truce they're on right now. But if other people do it, it's like hmm. Josh was talking in his confessional about how he has friendships with Rachel and Bananas. So he's like, even though I have my main people, I also have these kind of era one era one person and some era two people that I can work with as well. So like I said, Josh is only in these games for Josh. It showed a conversation. Hi, Edward. It showed a conversation where Cara was talking to Rachel, and Rachel was saying, Cara was saying in her confessional that Rachel is working with Johnny, which we know, which is weird to me. Actually, something about Rachel. I wish I had a catalog of all this footage that I've taken at these Challenge Mania events because when I met Rachel, the first time that I met Rachel, um, and Rachel was on this challenge panel, and she was talking about Johnny, and she was specifically talking about Johnny on the island. If you remember the season of the island, and she was saying basically that he should never have been cast again after that season, and she hates the fact that he's still on the show. So obviously, if you follow anything about these shows outside of the show, and just even just watching the season, you see that they're friendly. And then she also went on his podcast the other day. I still have to listen to that, but I'm telling you, that time that I met Rachel that I'm talking about was no more than maybe about 2 years ago, and she hated him. So I'm so shocked to see them on this show, like buddy buddy like that. So Kara is worried about that because Kara is kind of cool and kind of working with Rachel, just like they were on the last All Stars. But she's not really a fan of Johnny Bananas, so that worries her. Jordan, this inexplicably happens in every season. I feel like Jordan is always happy when one of the three potential bigger targets than him are on the show. And the only people that anyone on the guy's side might consider bigger targets than him are like Johnny Bananas, Wes, and CT. And he had two of three of those guys. So I think that Jordan always likes having a Bananas on there as a shield or somebody else who everyone considers as a revered player that they want to get out because then they're not looking at him. Because truthfully, who wants to see Jordan in a final? But yet it seems like somehow Jordan is actually coasting this season. Okay. Michelle was talking about targeting Johnny Bananas, obviously, because of all the stuff that happened with them. And then she's saying, all I have is Kyland and kind of Josh, because everyone knows Josh is like wishy-washy, flip-floppy. Derek and Ryan were having a conversation where they were talking about how hard of a season that it's been. So we get to the daily. TJ is like, it could be either a male elimination day or a female elimination day. Let me flip a coin. They always find funny ways to do this randomized stuff, but at least I can say I appreciate the coin better than the hopper, and I appreciate the coin better than the perfect algorithm because that's at least something that they can visually lay their eyes on. And he puts it in the air and it lands on either heads or tails or whatever he said. He didn't say heads or tails, I can't remember, but basically heads or tails, and we go from there. So where the coin lands, it is decided that it is a male day, but he says, women, you are not off the hook because I think he said if you win, you get an advantage going into the next one. I believe that's what he said. So the overall winners for that particular daily challenge were Jordan. He won for the guys, so he's the only one who was safe for the men. And then Tori wins for the women, and then it's decided that the woman is the one who decides who goes in against the last place man, and vice versa. So in this case, Tori is deciding who's going in against Ryan because Ryan finished in last place. So because the male targets were Ryan, Derek, and Bananas. The only choices here are between it's a disadvantage. Yeah, you're right. That's what I was thinking. It was one or the other, but yeah, you're right. I think it was a disadvantage if you get in last for the women for the next challenge. So it was between Ryan. I mean, Ryan was automatically going into the elimination for finishing last place for the men. And then Derek and Johnny Bananas were the two options. And Tori was the one making the choice. So I think that I kind of already figured that Bananas was going to be her choice, but then also being against Ryan again, just like Banana said, no offense to Ryan, but I figured whatever it was that Bananas would probably beat him and come back. So I was thinking it might not be the best political strategy for Tori to throw Bananas in there, but we'll see what happens. So we get into this chamber. I love these like chamber discussions, and I especially love when somebody like a Johnny Bananas or a Wes or a CT or somebody from my classic era is in there with their back against the wall because I feel like these newer people are thinking about their friendships and thinking about their social media brands. I don't know. That's a whole topic that I always end up at, but save that for now. Bananas is trying to make an appeal to Tori and basically being like, you've been playing Devin's game and Devin's not even here. And if you choose me to go in, this is going to be a Devin move and not a Tori move. Tori is basically like, I play for myself. This is not a Devin move. She's like, I feel like other times I have not been true to my friendships in the game. And now I'm trying to be true to my friendship to Devin and kind of avenge Devin and my other friends in the house that you are against. Michelle probably, I think, being one of them, and a couple others. I don't know. We'll find out more about that in future episodes. So after his appeal doesn't work, Banana says, some people, I posted the clip. How did he say it? He's like, some people come in here with hope. They're like, I hope that I don't get picked to go down into the elimination. And he was like, I wish a MF would. That's bananas for you. He's gonna raise hell. That's that old school stuff. So bananas is basically like it seemed like he knew that he was gonna get picked, but he wanted to make sure to let Tori know if you put me in and you don't put Derek in, you're gonna make an enemy out of me. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make your life a living hell. Bananas, you know what? When you look at his body of work, he's an amazing gaslighter. He avoided an elimination by guilting Josh earlier about something that happened in a past season where Josh voted for Bananas to go in after swearing that he would not. Um, every one of these ladies, he's like, Michelle, you're supposed to be my friend. This person, like Tori, you're my friend. Like, of course, all these people are his friends. Wes said on his Patreon before, he was like, have you ever noticed that all of his closest friendships with the women nowadays are like strong women who can win? And then I thought about it. I was like, Rachel, Laurel, um, Michelle, Tori. It makes sense. So Derek is making his plea to Tori after the chamber because they didn't show Derek say too much in the chamber. Um, Tori is struggling between the game and personal because she's like, it's gonna affect my friendship with Johnny Bananas if I throw him in. And we all know, even Bananas said in one of the confessionals that he's one of the pettiest players of all time. So we had Bananas in a room. Oh yeah. So then we had Tori and Jordan coming into the room. They find Bananas in the closet hiding, comes out, and then um they're informing him that he's going to be the choice to go in the elimination against Ryan. So Johnny makes sure to tell Jordan, this choice is not just on Tori. It's on you and Tori. Jordan's like, yeah, 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 yes. I get it. I get it. Jordan is basically like in the confessional, it doesn't really matter if Bananas is mad at me because he can't throw me in because the women are the ones who put the men in. So he could do all this, rah rah that he wants, but he just knows that he's not really worried about Bananas being mad about the decision. And also, he's willing to sit back and take the passive approach and pin this on Tori, which is smart. If you can be Jordan and be passive, I think Jordan has what, 3 wins and is one of the toughest players ever. And you can like sit back while there's a bigger target in front of you. I would do the same thing. So we get Ryan versus Bananas in this go kart thing. Let me see if there's anything I'm missing. Not go kart, four wheeler. Uh, so what it is they're riding around these hay bales. They have a flag on the back of the cart, and the goal is to grab the other person's flag. Best 2 out of 3 wins. Bananas wins. Ryan could not drive that four wheeler to save his life. He ran into the hay bale. They made it look interesting. It looked like he was close. Let's see. Somewhat. It's the best way of saying my name Bennett and I ain't in it. Yep. So now, after Bananas wins, he says in his confessional, Tori activated me, and now I'm coming back for revenge. And I'm like, a vengeful Bananas is exactly what this challenge needs. I love the era that I grew up watching, the pettiness, the spitefulness, the revenge, making the game personal, all that stuff, all the stuff that people say right now that they don't like. Oh, I don't want to see that. I don't want a villain. I want everyone to be happy and friendly, no gaslighting to go on, and for everyone to play the game honest and fair and shake hands at the end. I don't like that. That's not what I watched the show for. So I was so excited that an angry Johnny Bananas will be coming back in there and wreaking havoc, as we saw from the previews for the next episode. I literally wrote in my note, next episode preview looks fire. Uh, okay. So then TJ says that Bananas is going to be picking the three targets for the ladies, and he, of course, automatically has revenge on his mind. He wants to put Tori in, and then TJ says, "You can pick any lady up there except," and he was like, "No," and he said, "Except for Tori because or except for the last winner of the daily, which was Tori." And then she was like, "Yeah, kiss my ass." You know what? You know what she said? Kiss my, you know what? Which was hilarious. She was jumping up and down, and he was genuinely looking pissed, like he was upset. So he says, "Okay, so since I cannot pick, Devin's minion, I don't remember if that's how he said it, but since he can't pick Tori, he says, I'm gonna pick Naya. I'm gonna pick Devin's pet snake, Olivia, and I'm gonna pick his soon-be ex-girlfriend, Michelle." That wasn't nice. Like I gotta admit, I all dropped my phone trying to be dramatic, but that wasn't nice of him to say. But boy, that's gonna cause for some drama in the next episode. And so that's who he picked. So we got Naya, we got Olivia, and we got Michelle as the three targets for the women. And I guess that means that it's going to be a Women's Day tomorrow, next week. So we saw in the preview that Tori and Bananas, of course, continued this argument into the following week. I can't wait to see that. This was a good, solid episode. I have said this in various places. I appreciate what Bananas brings to the table more now than I used to, because we are in an era of everybody's friends, everybody hangs out outside the show, they do appearances, they're on TikTok and Instagram live together all the time, they go to each other's podcasts, they know each other's family, brother, sister, mother, father. They're friends. Like a large amount of them are friends. So they get on the show and it's like, let's get on here, put on a show slash act, make money. And don't get me wrong, Bananas is probably, if not the highest paid to show up for appearance fee on the show, top three. He's got to be top three in the cast in terms of the appearance fee that he gets just to be on there and his stipend, I'm sure. But once he gets on the show, he's locked in to both entertaining and winning. He wants to entertain and win. These other people are like, a win would be cool, that would be fun, but I also want to get on here. Like my main goal is just the exposure and just to coast as long as I can. They're always worried about their image kicking up dust, how people are going to perceive them. And who knows, he might worry about those things too, but he has compartmentalized that in a way how it's like, I'm a villain. I don't care if you think I'm a villain. I don't care if the fans think I'm a villain. I don't care if the people in the house think I'm a villain. I'm just here to win the prize and go home. And I appreciate that because some people are not there for that. For Vacation Alliance. Anyways, and not just the Vacation Alliance, some of the others in the newer era. That's why I like somebody like Kyland for this era, even though he's not like a younger player, but he's a newer challenger. I like someone like him because he's like that. He seems to be like that. I'm sure he appreciates the opportunity, the money and exposure that comes with it as well, but he's also like, I want to win the show. So we'll see what the next episode brings. I'm glad that we've had a few episodes without Kara Laurel drama because I was not enjoying that. Um, it was a good episode. I would give it what would I give it? Honestly, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. So that's my recap. And I might do a few more like challenge related lives, but this is the recap one, and maybe I'll jump into some subtopics based on some other things. But thank you for joining me. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Talk to y'all later.